Hello and welcome to another episode of Platinum Soul on Display. I'm your host, Tim Otanami, and today we're once again joined by Harlem and Max from the Heka Collective to discuss another game. Icey offers a 2D side-scrolling action experience, reminiscent of classic platformers. What sets it apart, though, is its inventive approach to combat. Players are introduced to a combat system that encourages experimentation and creativity. Timing, precision, and adaptation are key as you string together combos and unlock various special moves. The fluidity of these mechanics is both intuitive and gratifying, making each encounter a dynamic test of skill. As you navigate through the game's environments, a mysterious voice guides you, instructing you on what to do. But what's truly captivating is the narrative's unique twist. Icey deliberately plays with the concept of player agency. The game explicitly acknowledges your choices, often directing you to go one way while hinting that another path might be more rewarding. This creative narrative design challenges players to question their actions and rethink their assumptions. Now here's where things get really interesting. Icey not only breaks the fourth wall, but smashes it to pieces. The game's narrator plays a crucial role, guiding you through the story while encouraging you to question their guidance. What's real and what's fiction becomes increasingly blurred. The narrative is a layered experience, intertwining your decisions and the game's story in a seamless dance, resulting in a thought-provoking experience that leaves a lasting impression. The visual design of Icey is both minimalistic and striking. Stark contrasts and vibrant colors define the world you traverse. The character designs are clean and memorable, while the environments shift between desolate landscapes and bustling cityscapes. Accompanying this visual feast is a hauntingly beautiful soundtrack that accentuates the emotional beats of the story. The audio cues work in harmony with the gameplay, adding an extra layer of immersion. Icey embraces the notion of replayability in an innovative way. Beyond your first playthrough, you're encouraged to uncover hidden secrets, alternative routes, and even an underlying meta-narrative that unfolds as you explore further. Each new playthrough reveals something new, challenging you to rethink your understanding of the game's world and story. Icey is a game that doesn't just entertain, but also challenges your preconceptions of video game storytelling. Its combination of engaging gameplay mechanics, narrative depth, fourth wall breaking elements, and artistic design result in a truly unique experience that leaves players pondering the boundaries of fiction and reality. If you're looking for a game that goes beyond the ordinary and into the thought-provoking, Icey might just be the journey you've been waiting for.
Gameplay-wise, Icey does very little new. Like, everything is well made, and there's not a single issue with the gameplay. In fact, it's very smooth. But I think what sets it apart is the very Chinese sci-fi design. And I don't mean like dragons or cyber dragons, it has none of that. It means like the way the vistas are, because like in Chinese sci-fi artwork, you would often see like very bright blue colors and very distinct looking characters, and it's always almost like clashing with a background. You know, the background is always like this, either gray or very green, and it's very distinct on that regard of the art style. It's like a very Chinese thing. And on the story side of things, it's more of a meta commentary on both players and developers alike. Like, some parts of this games are legit rants about the developer not understanding how players behave, and just doing a meta commentary on all of those things. And it's pretty cool. Like, some of the things he said are basically true. Like, he doesn't understand why people would buy a game just for the trophies, and I can kind of relate to that. I feel it's a little bit weird to buy a video game over trophy. But you know, he does it in such a well-written way, and he's like not trying to offend you. He's not trying to humiliate you. He's just like as curious as you are about his game. It's a very interesting dynamic between player and narrator and game designer in this case that I think everybody should give it a try. Because even if you're not into hack and slash games, this is a pretty easy game. and it's worth it for the meta commentary alone. It's kind of similar to the Stanley Parable that released all those years ago. In that sense, I think it's a perfect balance of meta commentary and gameplay. It's a very short game, but it's very replayable because you will be wanting to see all the variables in the story, you know, all the endings and stuff. Because if you get only one ending, it's not really the correct way to play it. You want to see it all through, because all the endings are completely different and they take you to completely different places. So it's like a perfect 50-50 of meta commentary and gameplay, I feel, which is very rare. I think like Icey proved a very good point about, you know, Chinese games as like an art form being viable, because before that I think Chinese games were more like, as I had mentioned previously, like shooter games, like weird shooter games,
like a business.
That they did, like free to play. Yeah, the business side. But after I think Icey, they kind of like realized, oh, there's so many of these in China, we can probably make a lot of money. You know, like the investors and, you know, the publishers.
Right.
Because 2 million copies for something as small as Icey, like a 5-hour-long game, is amazing. So, you know,
yeah.
And then there was like the first trailer for Lost Suicide, who kind of broke the internet because it was one man doing all of that shit. and then Sony came out and said, you know what? I'm not letting anybody have this. Like, Sony just said to that man, I'm gonna give you a studio. We're gonna make this game PlayStation exclusive. You know, I think after that first Lost Suicide trailer, shit just went wild. Because then like, especially like video game console makers and publisher were like, we got to get our hands into China, like video game makers.
See,
it was like kind of almost like an arms race.
I think we need to stay the fuck out of China and let them cook. That's what I think.
Yeah, but I'm like, if you see like the behavior from Sony and other publishers, like for example, you have like, their name, Team Ninja, I guess it was, Koei Tecmo, just trying to get more studios in China to get more hack and slash video games made. Because really, like, the hack and slash genre has been stagnant for a while now, and even like games that say historically revolutionized the genre, like Bayonetta, when they tried something new, like in Devil May Cry on Bayonetta 3, they got so criticized. So I think like the Chinese devs, they have like this special ability to do some new cool stuff, and then people are like, all right, but they're more willing to take new ideas. Even though like the Chinese people are more about taking something that has been pre-established and then like spinning them. If you have like 4 or 5 hours and you want something different, this is the game for you. Like it is good in all aspects. I cannot complain about anything in this game, like, which is very rare for me to do. I usually have something to complain about it, but this game is like very good. Platinum is pretty easy. I think a 3 out of 10, I feel. And you will need a guide, because some of this stuff is very hidden, and there's no way you're gonna be able to find all of these stuff for yourself. And yeah, guess that's it.
Alright, man. Cool. So not super difficult, get a guide, about 5 hours. Pretty easy, I guess, to pop the platinum on that if you're like a trophy hunter and you're looking for one that you can kind of, get knocked out fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Max and Harlem, thank you so much for coming on the show. That's it for this episode of Platinum Soul on Display. If you'd like to keep up with Harlem and Max, the best place to find them is on Twitter. You can find me over on TikTok at Good Maybe Great. As always, you can find all of the projects from the Heka Collective at heka.uwu.ai. Take care, and we'll see you around the net.